Hey everybody, I just got this idea for a video, so I thought I'd make it. It's going to be about guard dogs for home defense and protection. Now, I personally will never ever use this dog for protection or defense. He is a Boerboel. They're also known as the South African Mastiff. He may look small right now on the foot of my bed, but I'll make a video in the future of him running outside. He's 130, probably 135-pound dog. And when you see him running, you'll see all his muscles and how big his neck is and everything. Right now, he looks like a little angel, just sleeping there on the foot of my bed. And he sleeps on my bed every night with me. And I was just looking at him and thought of the idea, because one of the first reasons I got this dog was for home protection. But after getting him, he became like my little baby. So if there was ever a home intruder, I would never ever let him out of the house to go see who it is. I would keep him in a safe room, totally locked up. I would definitely put myself in front of the door and I'd be like, "You're not getting at my dog," and I would die before my dog even got to see anything. And that's just because I love him so much. But I originally got him as a guard dog, and he is a great guard dog. And I totally have him trained to the point where he's never going to hurt anybody. He's great around children, which is just what his breed was made for. Now, some dogs are made to hunt birds. This dog was basically made to protect kids, and he was bred by the Dutch. And when they settled in South Africa, they needed a dog that was able to protect their whole family, the farm, and everything. So they took English Mastiffs and Bull Mastiffs from wherever they came from in Europe, and they brought them to Africa and bred them together to become the ultimate African dog, which is what this dog is. This dog is known to be able to go head-to-head with male baboons and win, which is something that even African dogs cannot do. And now, don't get me wrong, an African dog is not a hyena. A hyena could probably destroy one of these dogs in a second, because hyenas have a bite force in a jaw that's capable of producing over 1,000 pounds per square inch of bite force, and that's absolutely insane. A lion has a bite force of 700 some pounds, and the only dog that has the dog that has the highest in the world, I believe, is a Kangal, which has a bite force of around 700 or more. Lions have around a bite force of 700. So Boerboel's a full-grown Boerboel that's a huge Boerboel, could have a bite force of around the upper 600 pounds per square inch. A lot of other Mastiffs, they could produce around 550 pounds to 600 pounds per square inch. And the Mastiffs have the strongest, I guess, the commonly strongest jaws and out of all the dogs. Some of them have a lot crazier bite force than other breeds of Mastiffs. This one has an extremely high bite force. Not this particular dog, but other ones that are bigger. He is probably around 135. But last time I took him to the vet, he was 130 pounds. And he looks small right now, but when you see him, he's a lot bigger. But like I said, I would never dream of using this dog for protection. And people who do get dogs like this, whether it's a German Shepherd, a Pit Bull, or a Mastiff, and you're considering getting Schutzhund training, please be aware that unless you're going to commit to become as good of a trainer as the person who is training you, don't even do it. You're going to have to be able to control your dog just as good as the people who train it. So basically, you're going to become a trainer. So unless you're willing to become a trainer, then I'd say go for it. But if you're not going to become a trainer, don't do it. Your dog's going to end up hurting somebody, and it's going to be bad. The worst thing that could ever happen is your dog has to get put down because of something stupid like that. Dogs like this, especially Boerboels, it's already in their blood. If they see something bad, if there was ever an intruder that broke into the house, they would spring into action without doubt. But they're extremely intelligent, and they know when and when not to attack. Anytime my friends come over, when he first hears them, he gets nuts thinking that there's someone breaking into the house, and he starts roaring like a lion. And as soon as he sees who it is, he turns into a huge cuddle hound, and he just starts licking them and showing them his belly, wanting to be played with. And he just loves everybody that he meets. And he loves all dogs. The only dogs he doesn't like are dogs that want to start stuff. And he likes to scope out all the dogs and see how they are. And if there's a mean dog, he barks back at them. But you have to be willing to train these dogs to make sure nothing bad is going to happen. I'm constantly training this dog and staying on top of him being bad. And it's a non-stop thing that you're going to have to deal with. It's just in their blood. They want to protect you. And sometimes they don't know what they're doing. because they're basically just bred to protect. But the Boerboel is an extremely intelligent dog. I got mine from a breeder in South Africa. And that's the other important thing. When you buy a dog, never buy a dog from Lancaster, because there's a very high amount of puppy mills there, and the Amish people are notorious for breeding puppy mill dogs. And I got this guy from South Africa. Use resources out there that are available to you. Google Earth, internet places that check people's background out. This is all valuable information. When I got him from South Africa, I background checked that guy as much as I could. I found customers on his website. He would have a owner gallery with people's notes they would leave him. It would be like a picture of their dog and a quick letter being like, "Hey, it's us," and like blah blah blah. So I would type in their name on Facebook, find these people, ask if they had any problem with their dogs. They all said no, the dog is perfectly healthy, and never heard a bad thing about this breeder. On top of that, I used Google Earth to zoom up to this guy's farm to make sure I could see it was exactly what he was like making it out to sound like. I saw his family pool. I saw his whole operation from Google Earth, and that's a totally free thing out there I took advantage of. So when I bought this dog, I was almost 110% positive it was not from a lousy breeder. Even the lady at the bank said her daughter had a friend who got ripped off from it was some guy in another country. They thought they were buying it from some breeder in Louisiana, and she got scammed big time. But puppy mills are one of the worst things that's going on in the dog world. They need to be stopped. If you know anyone who's running a kennel, like a breeding kennel, and they're not responsible, they don't know how to raise dogs, you should definitely take it upon yourself to have them shut down, because dogs, we owe dogs everything. They really did help us evolve into becoming humans. If you watch the National Geographic program, Man Created Dog, you'll understand that without dogs we couldn't have come this far, and they remind us to be human and treat each other. And if you really watch how dogs treat each other and how they have respect and natural hierarchies and stuff, and same with wolves, they're more human than we are sometimes. Even in the wild, when a wolf's weakest member of the pack dies, they'll still protect the body, and they'll stand around and mourn for weeks, even a month if they have to. And that's the weakest dog in the pack. When it dies, even though they fight it and it gets to eat last and everything, every time it dies, they all sit around and cry. It doesn't matter, because it was part of their family. And I just love dogs. This is my first big dog, and I'm going to get plenty more dogs in the future. I'm not going to become a hoarder or anything. I'll probably only get like 2 dogs at a time. But anyways, be a responsible dog owner. Make sure your dogs aren't going to get in fights, no matter what breed it is. Do the homework anytime you're going to adopt or buy a dog. Research the breed and get a feeling for your dog. Get it checked out by trainers to make sure its temperament is good, and socialize it. If there's a dog daycare in your area, take it there when it's a puppy. It's the only way the dogs are really going to be good around all other breeds of dogs, people, and everything. A lot of people I've seen bring their dogs to dog daycare as puppies. Their dogs grow up as completely perfect dogs. They're great opportunities for your dogs and for you. So check them out. Make sure it's a good one, though. Just like everything, you got to make sure your babies are protected. And I don't have kids. I don't ever plan on having kids, just because I think dogs are better than kids. My dog's never going to become a drug addict, I know that. And it's never going to talk back to me either. It might bark at me or something, but it's all good. I just love dogs. So anyways, stay tuned for sweet videos coming up this week. And I got this one really awesome idea that's just going to be like the coolest video you guys have ever seen, in a way, but it's going to kind of not really be that cool. But you'll see what I'm talking about. It's coming up. Stay tuned, and thanks for all the support.